Gamers, we know that video game collecting can be a very expensive hobby, and some of you might currently be in debt right now, or some of you might not have a lot of money in your bank account due to buying video games. I mean, you got video games that currently cost $60 or more right now, and you know what the funny thing is that 10 years ago, this was not an issue, and we had the same price as it is today. So why are video games so expensive for us today? And why is it so hard for us to manage our money? Hi, I'm Jer, one half of the Ginger Gaming Duel, and I'm going to be talking about why it's so difficult for us to save money and also why we're in so much debt nowadays. Also, we are moving literally next week, and I also have my glasses because I packed all my contacts. And in today's video, we're going to be also talking about how you can save your money, at least in a more effective way, in the way that I have done so. If you like videos like this, along with Cozy Games with Jen, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button down below. And full disclaimer, I'm not a therapist or a financial advisor by any means. If you do have serious issues regarding this problem, please consult a therapist, a financial advisor, or your family and friends regarding this problem. My videos are a way for me to post discussion and to talk about any sort of problems that I currently see and face. And I hope this video is applicable to many, as this isn't just revolved about video games as well. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, if you currently have your finances in check, then honestly, all the power to you. I'm always down to see someone that has really good finances. But let me tell you about my backstory and how I had to go through some college loans and some debt myself. It wasn't until I finished college until I really felt the pain of loans. And I was given a few scholarships here and there, and my parents did help me a little bit along the way, but overall, I did actually have to pay off my student loans. I was able to find a job after 3 months, and I did stay home for a little bit to save up some money so I can pay off my loans. But once I did, I started to live on my own with a very toxic friend where I was working also 3 smaller jobs with no direction in my life, to the point where I only had $2,000 in my bank account and I had $4,000 in debt with credit cards. And as a gamer, it was very difficult for me to not buy video games because I had all the freedom in the world. I would spend about $100, $200 there every month, and the next thing you know, I'm spending $1,400 on video games per year. Honestly, in today's economy, I don't know how even people are surviving nowadays. I feel like most people that do work can only pay enough for the rent and maybe their food and bills, and that's it. And I ask myself, how the hell can you afford video games as well too? I think a lot of us out there are struggling paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes you spend so much on games that you don't tend to track your expenses overall, which also bleeds into debt. So having to buy a $60 game, or even double that if it's a collector's edition, honestly is very tolling for a lot of people. I'm going to dive into 3 things as to why we are broke as gamers. We just suck at managing our money, and we can't blame ourselves because a lot of us were really never taught to save money in the first place. Our school system never taught us about high yield savings, investments, and we weren't educated on these things, so of course we just suck at it. I mean, really, do I need to learn cursive or learn about John Sawyer? Because honestly, I personally don't care. And there are so many ads everywhere, influencers everywhere, videos everywhere, marketing everywhere. And yes, this really sucks because in today's society, we always have this YOLO-esque mentality. And I'm all about living the moment and experiences, but when you seriously have a problem of debt, and you have a huge addiction to things like gacha, microtransactions, then we have a very serious problem. We have access to money really easily. If it was just simply cash, that would be so perfect. But because now we have ATMs at every corner, your phone being able to pay for games, your watch being able to pay for games, and now you can purchase games immediately with your voice. And I mean, you might as well blink and purchase. Oh yeah, we actually still have that as well too. It's really ridiculous how much we spend. And from USA Today, the average US household with an average of 2.6 people is $7,951 of credit card debt. And that's so much freaking money. And apparently this year has been the highest in interest rates for credit cards at 20.58%. Student loan debt is at $37,574 at the end of 2022 from bestcolleges.com. As a student, how the hell are you supposed to sleep at night knowing that you are going to have to pay this off after your graduation? You just finished a 4 to 5 year degree, having to go through so many midterms and finals, and now they make you pay off an inhumane interest. It's tempting to eat out all the time, do your Uber Eats, snag a few games, or whale for Sela and Honkai Star Rail, but honestly, those $500 can be saved for your loan so you can get out of that debt hell. We are addicted to buying things. What is $60 going to do for me from purchasing God of War? And then you see another game or accessory you want to buy and it's $20. What is that going to do? Wait, Now I see another sale for 75% off. I have to get it now, and sooner or later it will keep layering and layering until you owe $1,000 on your credit card bills from video game spending. Advertising is helping you identify your happiness, because if it's new and promotes features you want to buy that new VR headset because it'll make you feel inclusive. But in my opinion, a lot of these things and a lot of these advertising social media outlets help you define your needs, and it only incentivizes you to buy more. Oniomania, yes, that is an actual term for shopping addiction, is a real thing, and we need to recognize ourselves that consumerism is a huge problem. I was able to talk about this with Jen nowadays, but I feel like we deserve so many things because of our entitlement. I just got a D on my essay. I deserve to feel better, so let me spend a little bit on Honkai Star Rail Jades. I got a promotion, so I should deserve to get this new keyboard. I just left my job and I should just celebrate and deserve a new controller. So you kind of see what I'm getting at here. It just starts turning into a therapy type of situation, and we deserve things because we put so much time in our work and study life, and advertising really plays a big part of that because it turns your life into practical to personal. And when it's personal, it's emotional. You don't need it, but you get it anyways to make yourself feel better. When there are literally starving third world country people out there that are walking hours to school on their bare feet in the hot sun, they embrace what they have and are grateful for them. Here, we just buy it, we get bored, and we move on. We don't appreciate what we truly have. We get bored way too easily. Okay, yes, I've actually said this in a few other videos and made a whole video about this, but just hear me out. Unless you're currently playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is an extremely addicting and long-term playing game, how many games can you actually finish? We're so pressed on time nowadays, I feel like we just don't appreciate moments of games, and we tend to just go through them very quickly. Take it from me, as I play Genshin Impact, I skipped a whole world quest just so I could do the event, which was very relevant to my interest in the story of the game. I just wanted to get things done quickly. Case in point, even you watching this YouTube video, you might have actually skipped at a few parts as well. We're bored out of our minds and consuming content or playing video games in general. We just want to move on to the next thing even if we don't finish the game. I still remember as a kid how much I enjoyed the journey of Mario 64 and taking my time with the game and exploring each area until I got to the world Bowser. And when you get bored nowadays, what do? You want to find something new to replace that boredom. There's just always the newest thing, and we always want to feel better by buying something new, something on sale, or just something. It's a sad reality. Efficiency doesn't always mean that it's effective in the long run. Okay, so now that I've complained about gamers and how they can be broke possibly, what can we actually do about it? Again, please take this advice with a grain of salt, as I'm not a financial advisor. I had quite some debt in my past, and to the point where I had little money in my account, but those were the times I had to fight back the most and took my time to get out of it to where I am today. Don't use a credit card if you cannot pay it off. If you have student loan or any loan of any kind, pay it off immediately. I feel like this is priority pronto because I understand it's really hard to find work right after you're done with school, but ensure that you make a plan to pay off your loan. There are plenty of alternative jobs, and if you can't find one with your major, that's okay too. Remember that at the end of the day that you're working to pay off a huge debt off your shoulders, and that a job will help tremendously. You do not want to pay off those interest rates, as they can soar dramatically and dampen your way of life. Do not make a monthly payment on anything aside your loans, your car, or your mortgage. As mentioned before, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. The student loans, the cars, the mortgages are the only things that you should be paying off per month. You should never have to make a monthly payment on actual items. It may sound enticing to pay it each month with no interest. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? But oh my god, if you miss a payment, honestly, for some reason, you are going to be in a world of hurt. Those fees will be haunting you in your nightmares. Keep track of your spendings and stick to a budget. Make sure you are accountable for your actions, and that includes your spendings. You can really see stories of what you bought and look back on what you did. Take a little time each month out of your day and actually look at your bank statement and take record of what you think you could have spent better on. I'm not even asking for like an Excel sheet or anything like that because I feel like it's so tedious. If you do have it, then that's even better, and breaking down your expenses visually. Just remember that at the end of the month, take account of things you bought and how much you spent on groceries. If it's really overwhelming for all the things that you bought, break it down into 5 categories: rent and mortgage, loans, bills, grocery, eating out, and personal. And give yourself a budget on each of them, especially with groceries. Maybe you spent about $400 on groceries. Maybe you could lessen it down to $300. Or maybe you have personal spendings that you spend about $100 to $200 a month. Just give yourself limitations and take accountability of your spendings visually so you can show how much more productive you are with your money, and it will do wonders for you overall. Buy what is practical for your everyday needs and lifestyle. I know this is an extremely difficult task. Buy what you truly need in your life. For me, I buy things that I will mostly use every day now. Emotional buying is really hard to justify because it comes personal. But take out the personal part for a sec, because you want things to help you become more effective. I personally buy video games as my relaxing tool. But as I've also stuck to a budget, I have given myself only $100 a month to spend on whatever I want. Just remember to spend on things that you want that are practical as well, like headphones. I use headphones every day and mine are completely tearing apart. Even for me, regarding a phone, I've currently had my phone for 5 years now and I currently have a lot of issues with it. I am justified to buy a new phone due to these circumstances. Buy what you truly need for your lifestyle and you'll enjoy your games just as much as not having to worry about overspending. And be grateful, y'all. I just don't think we have a lot of this in our lives. We tend to buy so many games and different little trinkets that there is another side of this ride of life. So many people out there are scraping by to put food on their plates, and we don't even appreciate eating a little bit of vegetables and are so picky with our food that we can't even enjoy the moment of eating, and we throw tantrums because it's not to our liking. Remember that you have a PS5, a gaming PC, and that alone already is a huge thing that not a lot of people have as gamers. Not a lot of people can afford a $500 machine or things for their own enjoyment. Remember that people out there are working their butts off for you in farms or low-wage factories so you can have a better life for yourself overall. I was so close to talking about basic investments, but I decided to hold that off because I wanted to just talk about debt in general. I hope this video gave you some sort of enlightenment, and if you're currently going through a debt situation, I hope you get through it soon. But comment down below if you ever had to go through a situation like this, and if you're currently going through it, comment down below if you're feeling comfortable sharing your experiences. And if you like this video, again, hit that like and subscribe button down below. And if you like other videos, here's one regarding pixel arts, and here's another one regarding unhealthy eating habits. My name is Jer, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Bye-bye, y'all.